what we are seeing right now are systems collapsing and people choosing their sides. Lots of delusion going on. Lots of people trying to do the least amount of work for the most amount of money. Not even qualified, certified, insured, bonded, licensed. But in their head, they feel they're worth ridiculous amounts of money for their time. And they're not even in person. They're on like a Zoom call. And if you're buying what they're selling, you're a sucker. And unfortunately, this has happened with some of my spiritual guru, self-appointed guru friends who charge thousands of dollars for whatever retreat or holding space service that they provide, or business plans or whatever, but they end up sticking you in some questionnaire, digital questionnaire, and putting up a wall, and they call it a boundary or a container, and just creating this illusion of holier than thou. These people are trying to be entrepreneurs and they can't even pay their own bills, and it's just crazy to watch. People that I've actually spoiled, taken great care of, and they're just ungrateful, entitled, and parading around like some spiritual guru. These are young souls too. They've just been reading books on spirituality and doing their little practices and their little wands and their waves and their chants. And it's really interesting, some of the things that I've seen. I've been given gifts of discernment and like perceptions that have protected me. And the thing is that I feel sorry for these people, man, and I give them money and I help them out, and in the end they just turn out to be greedy and jealous and they try to get more out of you. And it's sad because I'm not hurting for money. I don't live in the rat race like most people. I do what I love for a living, and I have people that take great care of me. I take great care of them. If we were to part ways at any time, I'd be okay. There's no pressure there, but we enjoy each other's, company, and we enjoy each other's services, and we stay out of each other's way, and we bring value to each other. So I'm always going to have that, mentality, and I'm going to have that personality. I'm going to have that giving attitude, and to a fault sometimes. I lost family members over it because their greed and their jealousy and entitlement. I've lost friends over it, after I spoiled and just treated, and then they started like doubling down on what they were charging me just because they saw I had money. And I'm guilty of this too. But it's what we do as humans. We try to, we size people up, right? So how much can I charge this person? And instead of like charging one solid price like I do, I have one solid price. It's base. Everybody pays it. Nobody gets any special treatment. And this is how I operate. I do good work. And if I lose, then so be it. But an honest day's work for an honest day's pay is how I live. That's why I'm successful. That's why I don't live in the rat race. That's why I'm able to create abundance. And I don't rip people off. I don't lie. I don't steal. I don't manipulate. A lot of people around me do. And then they project their craziness onto me, and it's like, okay, whatever you say, man, make up whatever story you want. But it's just interesting to see these people and the low vibrational frequencies that they display after they claim to be high vibrational beings, as the spiritual world says it, right? Or saints, and sinners, and depending on which religion or spiritual, ideology you subscribe to. So it's an interesting place to be right now in the world, as people are scrounging because the economy is crazy and prices have gone up, and people are just still trying to be composed as they ask you for ridiculous prices on their services, and then basically drop you off of the curb with a bunch of digital apps and questionnaires, and you're doing all the work. It's like, oh, this is interesting. So they've created an illusion. These delusional people have created an illusion thinking that you're going to take the bait and that they have what it takes to fix you, and that their services, the container that they hold, is the solution. But at the same time, they're like, well, we're not martyrs and we're not saviors. But it's like, then what are you doing? Like, it's very confusing. If you're running into this out there, you're running into even like services in the real world, in the physical world, in 3D, right? Not even 5D, but in the 3D world, where like businesses are just ripping people off, getting the money and then running. Like, we're in some crazy times, and a lot is being revealed right now. So stay vigilant out there. And if you're one of the good ones, one of the honest ones that tells the truth, just keep telling the truth, and don't even bother with trying to fight. You're never going to convince these people. They live in their own delusions, and all you can do is just sit back and watch them reveal themselves and feel sorry for them, because they're backing themselves into a corner. And while they may be able to sell their product to naive people, at the end of the day, they're lying to themselves and other people, and that's karma that they're going to have to deal with later. But my side of the street is clean, and I'm grateful for that. I feel sorry for the people that have done me wrong, because it's not even me they got to worry about. Life is good.